Hello, everybody. It's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to this month's energy forecast. It is October. And what a month we had last September. It's kind of interesting because I did feel energetically that it was lighter, even though some really horrific things happened during that month. Now, towards the end of the month, there was all that real tension energy, but especially around the eclipse. But it did feel like we're churning forward. I don't know to what yet, but I know that the changes are really genuinely starting to move and flow. Now, that could be in anything that you're doing, like your projects, your job, your relationships. Things that had felt very static and stuck now start to move forward slowly, not too quick, but we know we can feel it. We feel no matter what happens, there is movement. So I'm going to do a 15 card spread with this particular deck, the Enchanted Map Oracle Card deck. Here we go. It's one of my earlier decks and still actually really one of my best-selling decks and very accurate. So I decided, let's get that deck to see. So the first three cards are going to tell us where we are entering into the month of October and give us the main theme of the month. So yes, Spirit of Place, coming to life, and making a choice. So the first card, Spirit of Place, these are so pretty. Thank you, Jenna de la Gratalia did my art. Coming to life, right? And then making a choice. So when we have these three cards, the main theme of the month is called Spirit of Place. And that is really about being in the now, staying in the moment, not making assumptions because we've seen X happen or Y happen. Therefore, they must mean this. We are meaning makers. Refrain from from jumping to a conclusion that you don't know for sure. So be careful of over predicting what we think is going to happen. This is very, very clear. Stay in the now and see how it is revealed. Even the coming to life card, even the art on the coming to life card, see that which was static begins to move out. So, but it's not there yet. So there is a slow process of becoming, because that's really the main question in all of my work that I ask is, who are you? Who do you want to become? And what's the gap between who you are now and who you're becoming? Making the choice. We have to take an action to also, where do we place our attention? Regardless of where you place your attention, there is a consequence. In other words, if you place more attention on one thing, you're going to have less for the other. We do not have unlimited attention. We have to recognize that there is a limitation to what we are capable of tuning into, responding to, reacting to, blah, blah, blah. So it's such an important month where we make the decision to take our agency back and to put our attention on what we want to see more of and not what we want to, like what we keep seeing isn't working. But both have to be true. So I think it's super important to recognize that pain is part of life. Okay, Bazoo, my dog wants to come up. Okay, yes, we're on camera. There she is. Okay, you can be here for the reading. So pain is part of life. We know this. And there's disappointment is part of life. And detours are part of life. Anger is part of life. There's the full catastrophe. I love that book title by John Kabat-Zinn. The idea that's full catastrophe living both and. But it doesn't mean that we should virtue signal by saying the suffering is better, because if we're there for the suffering and only the suffering, then we can put our dreams on hold. And I don't think that's what Spirit wants for us. I think both. I think we pay attention to be respectful and pay attention to what we see and whatever we can do to make things differently, great. But within reason, I think there has to be also amount of attention and energy that you place on your dreams. You matter. They matter. So regardless of the chaos, we cannot wait until the world behaves for us to step forward into our creativity, into our manifestation of our dreams, and allow for change, some of which may not be what we signed up for, but can lead us to where we want to go. We don't always understand the form. This is also part of the month of October, releasing the need to know the form. Now, where are we heading naturally? So these three cards here, I'm just going to pull the three. This is so interesting. So, okay, so we have coming apart, we have mountain, and we have magical map shifter. So what does this mean? It means that as somebody, in this case, magical map shifters are people. They're people, and they can also be events that help us, that come in to help us as we appear to fall apart in front of an obstacle, right? So it looks like this thing is immovable. And this is kind of what we kind of already know. This immovable obstacle, things are falling apart. We don't know what's going to take their place, etc. We're hoping, some people hope it's one way, other people hope it's another way. But the bottom line is that there is change. And the change is actually for the highest good, even if we don't understand the form. Again, so this is a call to flow when that event or person enters into our life to point us in a potentially new direction. So basically that's going to show us how to go around the mountain, how to go around the obstacle, and how to let go what doesn't serve us. That's the coming apart card. How do we let go what doesn't serve us? Because it'll be taken from us anyway if in fact that we're holding on to something that we're so attached to, we can't seem to let go of it because it needs to be exactly this way. But in fact, we might be on a giant detour to get to the place that we say we want. We just don't know. And this is a real call to stay in the now, meet life on life's terms, still take action towards your dream, and recognize where you have power and where you are powerless. And this reminds you to ask yourself, what is mine to own and where do I need help? Where do I need help? What I love about this card is that the shedding of the thing we don't want lets go the obstacle. That's the other thing. And the letting go and in a way, it's like a sense of, it's a loss of identity too. So it's really calling in a different meaning to the things that we see around us. We need to make them mean something different. This will all make sense to you individually as you watch this video. Now, what is helping us? So what energy is already in motion in our favor to work with our obstacles? Now, this is either going to describe the obstacle or going to tell us how to get around the obstacle, or not. We've hit rock bottom is what it says. Oh, wow. You couldn't be more. Okay. No one is coming to rescue us. Okay. We have to rescue ourselves. We must come together. This is about polarization. So this is the nature of the obstacle, but we've hit rock bottom with it. We're not going to go anywhere. So with these cards, the center card was the anchor card. So this is the nature of the obstacle, that we have not come together, right? That there is separation. It's just naming what we already know. None of us need any more description. Are you okay? Do you want to see Daddy? Okay. She thinks a COOKIE is coming now. Okay. And again, hitting rock bottom means the only way is up from here. And we need to participate in our own rescue. And that is so, so important, is to stand up for love. Now, this may sound kooky, but how do we find that middle ground? Like, how are we going to find the thing that brings us together? And I'll give you an example too. Like, I have a complete social experiment that I do. I have a mastermind. Everybody signs an NDA. No one is allowed an NDA. Nobody's allowed to tell each other who they voted for. I have 22 people in there, and they're a whole mix. And I have people in there that know each other only at the level of the spiritual focus that we keep, etc. And it's an extraordinary thing to discover how much everybody has in common. So I know it's possible. And I know that it may not happen right away, but it is required. At some point, we're going to have to meet somewhere on the bridge and to really discover what is it that we can learn from each other so that we can come together to build something together, not apart. Right. So now I'm just telling you what the cards are saying, right? This isn't me, but it is kind of interesting because I do believe in all this, but I think we're really going to see this is going to come into our psyches this month in October, not necessarily an event, although an event could come, but it's really because this month feels like a gift in some way. It's kind of an interesting month. It brings us into this creativity, that, about the question is what do you want to create in the world? What do you want to create in the world? Because and that makes sense because we're in Libra season, right? And that is about creativity and art and connections and people and partnerships, those kind of things. That's all really highlighted this month. Yeah, and what I love about so far, anyway, is that nothing says the obstacles are static and forever. As a matter of fact, something can change. That, and even though we're doing a big giant detour around the block to get to where we all need to go, no matter where you live in the world, there is change. Change is afoot. We need to meet that change and discover it. We don't have the answers yet. We still need to be curious. Geez, I wonder what could happen. I wonder what the world could look like, etc. Now, this is great. This is interesting. This is a great month for business. So, what's going on in what is hidden from us? Like, what is actually happening? So, this can be all about. We get the Golden Palace, the Details card, and Sacred Pool are these three cards. So, the center card is Golden Palace, which typically talks about a financial things that are tangible, that come from our deepest authenticity. It's not about stock markets. It's not about money per se, as it is about the outpicturing, right, of your authentic commitments, the opportunities, the synchronicities, the intangible things that make you wealthy, like love, like friendships and love, and looking at those things and moving from the reflection of gratitude, right? That's already happening around us, right? That's the detail, that's the fine print. By FYI, we need to be grateful. That's the fine print here. To see the outpicturing of beauty and joy and goodness in the world, right? We need to not maybe for sure, be really clear about what your values, like what are those values? What do you believe in? And then also to give yourself a break this month. This is very much about, remember, because the first card, which is the entire theme, which is stay put, dream about these things, and know all of these things are possible. This is so positive, so positive. Now let's let gifts from Spirit. Prayers are answered. Let's see, Magic Prayer, Slow and Steady, and Wizard of Awareness. Okay, so here's the gift of Spirit to us. So in other words, it's like, here's a hall pass, kids. We're going to show you. So prayers, like Magic Prayer. So keep an open mind. I'm coming from, obviously, you watch my videos, I have certain belief systems. I believe that there is a conscious universe that we communicate with, and that the field of potential, the field of the quantum field, God, right? Faith that works. Faith is an action, and which is about believing and acting as if that is true, no matter what is happening in the world. And Magic Prayer is all about that power of prayer. And instead of saying, make sure the prayers that I have or my ideas about how the world should look, instead, thy will be done through me. Use me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self so that I may better do thy will. Let there be light. Let me walk in your shoes, right? So that the universe can come, or God, or whatever your description of a higher power is. It can be, make it your own. But know that it's true, and it is how the world works. And this is so crucial and so important to remember, that, we are a walking prayer, and we just need to listen to the answer. So we're broadcasting and we're receiving, slowing it down and being present to it. That was all really what my book, The Art of Manifesting, is about. It's all about that, using a pen on paper to identify those feelings, to rehearse the self you want to become, to make it real by recruiting different parts of your brain, allowing that part of you to start to shift and support a new idea, and like making it real by allowing yourself to trust that somewhere this is true. And then all of a sudden it becomes true, because the universe moves to support you in these things. So leaving the form, right? Letting the form be chosen by spirit and just remaining aware of the synchronicities in your life that show up slowly, sometimes quickly. But if you stay on track with your, I always say spirit first, human second, recognizing that you have agency to choose the reality that you want to live in without denying all the things around us. You can do both. This is not about over being toxically positive or denying the suffering in the world. This is about saying, I will do my part. And the more people out there that are actually saying, use me as thou wilt, like be the emissary of the divine, let divine will work through you, and then see what happens. And knowing that we are all together in this big story. So this October, hi, come on, let's pick one last card to say if I missed anything. And of course, the dog wants to participate. Did Daddy give you a COOKIE? I think he did. Beautiful, gentle gardener. Whatever you plant in your field of dreams is going to grow. If you want to plant weeds, you're going to get weeds. If you want to plant dreams, you're going to get dreams. The garden is going to grow anything you plant on it. What's it going to be? It is our choice. All right. Now, apparently, we're having a very, very nice month, according to Deborah Silverman. The astrology really does support a bit of a reprieve this month. So as much as I sounded kind of strong, because the cards are pretty, in your face, but I think it really does give us an opportunity to dream. Don't forget, if you want to draw your destiny or doodle your destiny into being, my book, The Art of Manifesting, is out. I'm so grateful to everybody who is sharing your doodles, your drawing. If you know how to doodle, you know how to manifest because it works. Love you all so much. Bless you. Mwah! Take care. See ya in next month.